Good morning guys, it's Gene aka LS Turbo Integ and welcome back to my channel. Alright guys, we got some things we got to do today. Car's up on jack stands. I did drop off the tires at Bell Tire, got them back, but what a ridiculous situation I ran into. Just a real quick recap. I did the BMW just a couple weeks ago. Had all 4 tires mounted and balanced without the car there. $45 per tire. And I thought that was pretty insane. When I took these off and brought the tires over there, I was expecting the same thing, $45 per tire. And so he said, no problem, we'll take care of it. It's gonna be $100 a tire. I was like, are you freaking kidding me? And he gave me that look like, what? I'm like, look, I was just here 2 weeks ago. You did my BMW, you charged me $45 per tire, which to me I thought was pretty expensive then. And now you're telling me it's gonna be more than twice of what I paid for 2 weeks ago? And so he says, what do you mean? I'm like, so I explained to him. So he pulled up my history and sure enough, he saw that they only charged me $45 per tire. So I looked at him. I had like 10 people in line because this was 7:30 in the morning. So everybody's lining up. So I was the first one. So all eyes was on him, which was kind of great because I put him on the spot. Anyways, he looked at it and says, oh, unfortunately, it looks like that employee should have charged me $100. Then he said, actually, he should have charged you $125 because they're 285s. And I looked back behind my shoulder and everybody else, and they all had that, are you kidding me look on their face. I'm surprised nobody walked out at that time. Now, what he did say, because it's in their system, 2 weeks ago, they only charged me $45. He would go ahead and only charge me $45. But he said, moving forward, he will have to charge $100 if I was to get those tires mounted and balanced again. So I'm gonna have to start looking for another tire place. That's pretty ridiculous. Anyways, guys, rant over. I need to go ahead and continue getting this Porsche done. All right, so the issue we're gonna work on today is the boot on the axle is leaking grease. Now, according to the forums, it is a common issue. I'm gonna go ahead, remove that clamp, because what they're saying is the clamp is not tightening down at all. I even saw one gentleman on the 718 forum. He's only at 6,000 miles and he's already having the same issue. So he did take it to the dealer and I believe they're getting it done. But for my situation, I'm gonna do it myself. You can see down here where it's splattering and then you can see all the grease spitting out. So I'm gonna tackle that on today. So what's great on the 718 forum is I got a bunch of cool guys that are helping me out, providing me with the links to the correct parts I need. So let me show you what we've got. So here's the clamps that I'll be using. It does come in a pack of 10. And then here's the heavy duty boot clamp installer that they said I should use. So it looks pretty easy to use. You just use your socket and a ratchet and it pretty much clamps it down. As far as taking it off, I'm not sure yet. A couple people were telling me just to maybe bend it up and then you can unhook it right here and it should come off. I believe so. Yep, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go towards the edge, stick a screwdriver right there and then pop it off. And I'm also gonna add some more grease just to make sure it's got plenty of grease. I'm not sure how much grease I lost. I don't think I lost much. So I'm just gonna add just enough till it spills out, put the clamp on and then clean all the excess. Now, one gentleman did say even after he put the new clamps on, he was still getting a little bit of grease coming out and he believes that was just the grease that was kind of wedged in on top of the clamp that made its way through. But after he cleaned it up, he didn't see anything else anymore. Even after I get these on, I'll keep an eye on it. So if I do see a little bit of grease, I'll just clean it down and then monitor it and just make sure it wasn't just anything that was after. So, but that's what we're gonna tackle on today, guys. So hopefully I don't run into any issues and this goes as smoothly as possible. So let's go ahead and get to work, fam. Guys, if you guys like the content, please consider subscribing. Hit those post notifications. That way every time I drop a video, you guys will be notified. And if you guys have any questions or any comments, please post them below. Also follow me on Instagram at LSTurboInteg. All right, fam, let's get to work. All right, guys, so what I'm gonna do real quick is just wipe up some of the grease I see. You know, it might have been leaking for a little bit just because the grease feels caked now. All right, that should be good. Okay, I see the clamp. I guess it's just clipped on there towards the top, so I'm gonna wedge a screwdriver to see if it'll pop right off. I'm wondering if I can actually, what I was gonna try and do is turn it, but because my e-brake's on, I can't spin it down. All right. Oh, there. That was easy, guys. All I did was pop that clamp off. So as far as adding more grease, all right, let me see if I can show this to you guys. Kind of hard to get in here. You can pull this boot back a tiny bit. See that gap up there? I'm just gonna squeeze as much as I can up into that cavity area because it won't slide this way. So, but you can pull this back, add more grease to it, and I should be good, guys. Let's try that. Maybe I can wedge my hand. Oh yeah. I'm gonna hold it just like that. All right, I squeezed some in there. Hopefully it's enough. You know, I could probably add a little bit more grease right there. All right, I'm gonna add a little bit more grease down towards this side. All right, you guys can see the grease I just added. So I'm just gonna slip the boot back on. There you go, guys, just slips right on. I'm gonna wipe off all the excess before I put that clamp back on. Just wiping off this excess. You can see where it splattered up on top. So I'm gonna wipe that down real quick while I'm under here. And then let's wipe on the boot. Just to make sure it's got a nice clean area. I'm gonna consider that good in my book. All right, so we got the clamps ready. So here's the heavy duty clamp we're gonna use. All right, so basically, you guys, we're gonna take the clamp. This will pinch right here. I'll have to press this pretty tight, but I think you guys got the gist of it. I'm gonna take my gun, put my socket on, and basically use my gun to do all the work, and it'll basically compress, and those parts will then curl up inside on both sides. Once I got it to the correct spot, then it's done. I think it's better than using like the crimps. Like you're gonna have to use all your hand strength to squeeze those in, whereas I'm using this to do all the work. So let's go ahead and let's try and knock that out, guys. Just double checking. Okay, boots on. And I noticed that there's a spot for the clamp to actually be in, guys. Okay, it's on the second clip, you guys. So I'm wondering if that's fine. I just don't like the way I can free spin it. But I think once I start clamping it down, it should be fine. All right, clamp is on, guys. I just gotta crimp it down. Let me give it a couple more turns. I think that's good. Let's go ahead and take the clamp back off and see what it looks like. Hopefully this works. All right, clamp is on. Hopefully that's a good shot right there. Hopefully that did the job though. See how much more pinched it is than the other one. I think it looks better. So we'll just keep an eye on it and I'll report back and let you guys know if that did the trick. It looks good from here. All right, let's tackle on the other side. All right, here's the other side. And all I'm gonna do is just gonna wipe things up real quick. I see a little bit of grease back here. So not as much, just because I can see it from the back side, but I'm just gonna wipe it real quick. The driver's side, not so bad. All right, got that cleaned up a little bit. All right guys, so what I gotta do is I gotta get this closer to the other side. So let me if I can slide across to the right. And yeah, it's moving. Wow, that's why it leaks. You shouldn't be able to turn it like that. All right. Now that I have access to it, there it goes, pops off. Just like that. Slide that back, squeeze some more grease. All right, let's add some to the bottom. Let's pop the top back on. I think that looks good there, guys. All right, let's get the new clamp on. All right, clamps on. All right, what I found is you can't use a gun like they show on a video I watch. You're actually gonna have to use a ratchet. I think a ratchet's easier than a wrench because at least a ratchet you can keep turning it as it tightens. You gotta get it down. At least for me, you can't do it up on this area. You gotta bring this down. And then from here, get it in the middle. And then you're gonna have to push against it that way, okay? Putting pressure on the clamp. Let's get my ratchet on, and then now we're gonna tighten. And just keep tightening. All right, I feel it biting. Feels good so far. Just gonna keep going. Now it's getting tight. I think that's good, guys. Let's go ahead and loosen this back up and see what we got. It clamped it, but it clamped it like that. I tried moving it and I think it's gonna be fine. It's very tight. So, I mean, as long as it pinches it together, I think that's all that matters. It doesn't have to mushroom at the top because it's still pretty tight. If you look at it, I'm gonna roll with it, and as long as I'm monitoring it and it's not leaking, that's all that matters. But it's clamped all the way down. It's on there good. What do you guys think? Give me your thoughts, post them on the comments below. I mean, if anything, I did get a 10-pack, so I can always change it. I think it's on there pretty good. It's clamped, it's not going anywhere. All right, that completes that project. Love working on this. Guys, do yourself a favor, learn how to work on your own vehicles. It's gonna save you a lot of money in the long run. Plus, I enjoy spending my weekends, my weekdays, every day of the week just working on my car. From everything to anything. guys, just want to give you an update. This is after a couple of months of driving. I've been all over the place, Kentucky, Tennessee, Indiana. As you can see, it's not leaking. That little bit of grease, I think, is whatever is between the boot and the clamp. I remember reading somebody that does track noticed the same thing, but after that was out, he had no more grease. And as you can see, I don't have any grease spinning anywhere, so at least I know that is fixed. This is the driver's side, so as soon as I get the wheel off, we'll take a look on the passenger side. At least I know I fixed the issue here. Alright guys, here's the passenger side. Same thing, just a little bit of grease just coming from underneath the clamp and the boot, but that's it. There's no grease slung around at all anywhere that I can see. And like I said, I put quite a bit of mileage since I first installed this. So I'm happy with the results. Don't have to worry about this anymore. So if anybody's trying to figure out how to fix theirs, it can be fixed. Just as long as the boot isn't cracked and the axle isn't shot. But it seems like this was a very common issue. So I'm super glad I got that taken care of. So if anybody has any questions or any comments, please post them below. Tell me what you guys did. I know Alan Stevens is one of the first guys that posted a video when he did his. That's what gave me the idea that I could do mine as well. Guys, stay tuned for future content. Got a lot more things going on. Stay tuned for my spark plug and ignition coil pack change. That video will be dropping soon. So guys, if you like the content, please consider subscribing. Hit those post notifications. That way every time I drop my videos, you guys will be notified. And if you guys have any questions or any comments, please post them below. All right, fam, till next video. Peace.